Hi guys, today I will read again this book, My Naughty Little Sister. Okay, so can you guess who has written this book? It is Dorothy Edwards, and I love him so much. He wrote really good stories, really good stories. That's my cousin, so he's really naughty. He always wants to be in the video, but always naughty. Okay, back to the video. Today I will read chapter 7 and chapter 8. Chapter 7, so we can discover more of these naughty little sisters. Alright, so let's get started. Before we begin, do you remember anything about chapter 6? Chapter 6, do you remember anything? Chapter 6 is about the naughty little sister steal the fairy doll from her sister. So her sister was very sad, cry all the time, but in the end they were very happy because both of their dolls were back again. So now we will discover about chapter 7. My naughty little sister cuts out. So let's get started, shall we? Once, when I was a little girl, and my naughty little sister was a very little girl, it rained and rained and rained. It rained every day, and it rained all the time, and everything got wetter and wetter and wetter. And when my naughty little sister went out, she had to wear her mackintosh and her Wellingtons. My naughty little sister had a beautiful red mackintosh cape with a hood just like the Little Red Riding Hood, and she had a little red umbrella. My little sister used to carry her umbrella under her cape because she didn't want it to get wet. Wasn't she a silly girl? When my naughty little sister went down the road, the rain went plop, 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 plop onto her head and scattered against her cape and trickled down her cheeks, and her Wellington boots went splish, splosh, splish, splosh in the puddles. My naughty little sister liked puddles very much, and she splished and splashed such a lot that the water got into the top of her Wellingtons and made her feet wet inside. And then my naughty little sister was very sorry because she caught a cold. Wasn't she silly? She got a nasty, sneezy, a tissuey cold and couldn't go out in the rain anymore. My poor little sister looked very miserable when my mother said she could not go out, but her cold was very bad, and she had a red nose and red eyes and a nasty buzzy ear, all because of getting her feet wet. And every now and again, she couldn't help it. She said, "A tissue, a tissue." She couldn't help sneezing. Now, my naughty little sister was a fidgety child. She wouldn't sit down quietly to hear a story like you do, or play nicely with a toy, or draw pictures with a pencil. She just fidgeted and wriggled and grumbled all the time, and said, "Want to go out in the rain. Want to splash, splash, and splash," in the crossest and growliest voice ever. And then she said, "A tissue," even when she didn't want to, because of the nasty cold she got, and she grumbled and grumbled every day. My mother made her an orange drink, but she grumbled. My mother gave her a cough stuff, but she grumbled, and really no one knew how to make her good. My mother said, "Why don't you look at a picture book?" And my naughty little sister said, "No book, nasty book." Then my mother said, "Well, would you like to play with my button box?" And my naughty little sister said she thought she might like that. But when she had drawn all the buttons out and spilled them all over the floor, she said, "No buttons, dried off buttons." "A tissue," she said, "a tissue," like that because she couldn't help it. My mother said, "Dear me, what I can do for that child?" Then my mother had a good idea. She said, "I know, you can make a scrapbook." So my mother found a big book with clean pages and a lot of old birthday cards and Christmas cards and some of old picture books. and a big pot of stinky paste, and she showed my naughty little sister how to make a scrapbook. My naughty little sister was quite pleased because she had never been allowed to use scissors before. And these were the nice snippy ones from Mother workbox. Snip, snips. My naughty little sister cut out a picture of a cow and a basket with roses in, and a lady in a red dress, and a house and a squirrel, and she stuck them all in a big book with the sticky paste, and then she laughed and laughed. Yeah, my cousin is really naughty. Do you know why she laughed? She laughed because she had stuck them all in the book in a funny way. She stuck the lady in first, and then she put the basket of roses on the lady's head and the cow on top of that. And then she put the house and the squirrel under the lady's feet. Yeah, my naughty little sister thought that the lady looked very funny with the basket of flowers and the cow on her head. So my naughty little sister amused herself for quite a long while. And my mother said, "Thank goodness," and went upstairs to tidy the bedrooms. Now she had gone quiet, but wasn't she silly to do that thing, as my naughty little sister wasn't grumbling anymore. But that naughty child soon got tired of the scrapbook. Yeah, and when she got tired of it, she started rubbing all the sticky paste over the table and made the table all gummy. You know the sticky paste? Like sticky paste is like glue. The glue is really sticky, right? So some people said it's sticky paste, but others said glue. Glue. Very sticky. Then she poked the scissor into the birthday card and the Christmas card and made them look really ugly. And then, because she liked to snipping with the scissors, she looked around for something big to cut. Fancy looking around for mischief like that, but she didn't care at all. She just looked around for something to cut. She snipped up old father's newspaper with the scissors, and she tried to snip the pussycat's tail. Only Pussy put her back up and said, "Psst," and frightened my naughty little sister. So my naughty little sister looked around for something that she could cut up easily, and she found a big brown paper parcel on a chair, a parcel all tied up with wild string. My naughty little sister was so bad because she couldn't go out to play in the wet that she cut the strings of the parcel. She knew that she shouldn't be, but she didn't care a bit. She was really naughty, just like my cousins. And she pulled it all off. She did that because she thought it would be nice to cut up all the brown paper that was around the parcel. So she dragged the parcel onto the floor and began to pull off the brown paper. But when the brown paper was off, my very naughty little sister found something inside that she thought would be much nicer to cut. It was a lovely piece of silky, rustly material with little flowers all over it. The sort of special stuff that pretty dresses are made of. Now, my naughty little sister knew that she mustn't cut stuff like that, but she didn't care at all. She thought she would just make a quick snip to see how it sounded when it was cut. So she did make a big snip, and the stuff went like you know the sound of when scissors are cut, as the scissor bit off. And my naughty little sister was so pleased that she forgot about everything else and just cut and cut. And then all of a sudden, yes, in came my mother. So, you know what happened? Of course, she was angry than ever. My mother was cross when she saw the sticky table and the cut-off newspaper. But when she looked on the floor and saw my naughty little sister cutting the silky stuff, she was very, very angry. "You are a bad, bad child," my mother said. "You shall not have the scissors anymore. Your kind Aunt Betty is going to be married soon, and she sent this nice stuff for me to make your to make you a bridesmaid dress because she wanted you to hold up her dress in the church for her. Now you won't be able to go. My naughty little sister cried and cried, but she wanted to be a bridesmaid, and because she liked to have a new dresses very much, but it was no use because the stuff was all cut up. After that, my naughty little sister tried to be a good girl until her coat was better. Yeah, she did a bad thing. She cut all the piece of paper, all the silk fabric. She didn't know that mom was going to make that silk, like that fabric, into a beautiful dress for her. She didn't know, so she tried to cut it and was very naughty. And now for chapter 8. But before we begin, I said that you must remember this whole story. And when we read chapter 9, chapter 10, I will ask you again, what is the story mainly about? Yeah, what is that chapter about? So let's begin on chapter 8. You wouldn't think that my naughty little sister at the party. Yeah, naughty little sister at the party. Will she be nice? Will she be good? Or she be bad and naughty? Let's find out. You wouldn't think there could be another child as naughty as my naughty little sister, would you? Well, I think there's a very naughty child like this one. It's my cousin. He's very naughty, right? You just seen him. He always wants to show up on my video because he liked to film, but when he filmed, he's always naughty. Always naughty, yeah. So let's begin. But there was a through lonely bad boy who was my naughty little sister's best boyfriend. And this boy's name was Harry. This bad Harry and my naughty little sister used to play together quite a lot in Harry's garden or in our garden and got up to a dreadful mischief between them, picking all the baby gooseberries and the green black currants, and throwing sand on the flower beds, and digging up the runner bean seed, and all the naughty sort of things you never do in a garden. Now one day, this Bad Harry's birthday was near, and Bad Harry's mother said he could have a birthday party and invite lots of children to tea. So Bad Harry came round to our house with a pretty card in an envelope for my naughty little sister. And this card was an invitation asking my naughty little sister to come to the birthday party. Bad Harry told my naughty little sister that there would be a lovely tea with jellies and sandwiches and birthday cake, and my naughty little sister said, "Jolly good, friend." And every time she said about the party, she said, "Nice tea and birthday cake." Wasn't she greedy? And when the party day came, she didn't make any fuss when my mother dressed her in a new green party dress and her green party shoes and her green hair ribbon, just like this one, hair ribbon, but this one is blue. And she didn't fidget and she didn't wriggle her head at all. Stop it. Head at all about when she was having her hair. She kept as still because she was so pleased to think about the party. Now when my mother said, "Now, what must you say at the party?" my naughty little sister said, "I must say, nice tea." But my mother said, no, that would be a greedy thing to say. You must say, please and thank you. Like a good, polite child, at tea time, and say thank you very much for having me when the party is over. And my naughty little sister said, "All right, mother, I promised." So my mother took my naughty little sister to the party, and what do you think this silly little girl did as soon as she got there? She went up to Bad Harry Mother's and said very quickly, "Please and thank you. And thank you very much for having me," all at once, just like that, before she forgot to be polite. And then she said, "Now may I have a lovely tea, sir?" She said that at once. Wasn't she a bad child? Wasn't that rude and greedy? Bad Harry's mother said, "I'm afraid you would have to wait until all the other children are here. But Bad Harry shall show you the tea table if you like." Bad Harry looked very smart in a blue party suit, with white socks and shoes and a real man's haircut. And he said, "Come on, I'll show you." So they went into the tea room, and there was the birthday tea spread out on the table. Bad Harry mother had made red jellies and jelly. She made all the jellies. She made sandwiches and cake with cherries on, and a big, enormous birthday cake just for Harry's birthday. And do you know what they did? They eat all of that, all over. Harry said to my naughty little sister, "Shall we eat first? I can't wait until the others come. They're so late." And my naughty little sister said, "Well, yeah, we shall. I think that would be a good idea to eat first." And they eat all up. My naughty little sister and Bad Harry really like sweets, and they eat all of the candy, all of the birthday cake up. And when the children came, they have nothing to eat and was really sad. But Mother was very angry with Bad Harry and my naughty little sisters. And that night, my naughty little sister, got into a big fight. And you know what happened in tomorrow? She got a terrible toothache. A terrible toothache of eating a lot of sweets. Wasn't she naughty of having those? So Mother had to take her to the dentist. To the dentist to check her teeth. So that's it. That's chapter 7 and chapter 8. I hope you like it, and I like it too. I love this book, and every day will be a much better video coming your way. And next time I will read chapter 9 and chapter 10. So bye guys. Thank you for watching. Bye.